I'm about to get 5 platinums by rarity, starting from common all the way up to the ultra rare platinum. I saw a study did this months ago and thought it would be fun, so now it's my turn. Before we begin to reveal the common platinum, here are some examples that I have done. For common, I've done Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Spider-Man 2, and Bunny Raiders. Uncommon, Ghost of Tsushima, High on Life, and Assassin's Creed Mirage. Rare, Ghost Runner, Cuphead, and Burnout Paradise Remastered. Very rare, like Sackboy, Need for Speed Rivals, and Vanquish. And ultra rare platinums like Knack, Super Hot, and Jump King. So I've been going through PSN profiles and still find some games that I have never played before, and I got really excited to do this. So let's reveal the common platinum. Now this common game is published by Activision, originally released on the PlayStation 1. We have... This game has 39 total trophies and might only take 6 hours. Now the one and only step of getting this platinum is just enjoy the game. But the only requirement for unlocking the final level in the game is for collecting at least 40 Pizza Planet tokens.
Be careful with that, it's extremely dangerous. To infinity and beyond!
You get a Pizza Planet token by collecting 50 coins to trade with Ham, defeating bosses, doing side missions, and so on.
To infinity and beyond!
Luckily, you don't have to get every single Pizza Planet token in the game because they're not required for the platinum. The only requirement is to get like 40 of those to unlock the final level in the game.
To infinity and beyond!
And I also look out for miscellaneous trophies because this game also has like this backwards feature in case you mess up.
To infinity and beyond! Here's what you should do.
Now the final level right here is a triple boss fight. Now the best way to beat this is to use spin attacks. And after a huge success, I get a trophy for beating the final level, and I got the platinum. Now this uncommon platinum is also my 175th platinum. Originally released in 2011, developed by From Software, we have... With an uncommon percentage of 29.4% and has a total of 41 trophies. This will be both my hardest and most enjoyed game in this video. Just like Demon's Souls, like before you start off the game you get to create your character. For me, I chose the Sorcerer class and the Master Key as my starting gift. So the journey begins here in Northern Undead Asylum, where you get locked up in a jail cell until you find this corpse, or when you pillage the corpse, you'll find this dungeon cell key, which you can get out. And then I get my first trophy for lighting the bonfire for the first time. And then I run into this NPC who gave me those like healing items known as the Estus Flask, which is helpful for this playthrough. And then I get a trophy for that.
Here, take this. An Estus Flask. An undead favorite.
And then I ran to this very first boss fight in the game called the Asylum Demon. one demon, I get transported to another location known as Lordran, which is the game's hub. Oh, and I got another trophy for that. And after arriving at the hub, I talked to this guy for joining his covenant for another trophy.
Would that please you? Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
And after so much exploration, I finally get to another boss fight. But first I have to take out those two annoying archers that I had to take because after I was fighting the boss, I get distracted by those annoying archers. After that was the Bell Gargoyle boss fight. Well, it's a 2v1 actually, because when you take down most of the Bell Gargoyle's health, the second one might spawn in. After defeating the gargoyles, I climb up to the tower and ring the bell for another trophy. I decided to get this covenant trophy out of the way because it's going to take 25 faith, so for that I have to farm a lot of souls to upgrade my faith up by 25, and after that I kneeled to his statue and got a trophy. Now this boss fight is really intense because after you walk through this fog gate, this boss might go after you and there's no space to evade. So what it did was take out the dogs first and then just spam magic and the Capra Demon, and that's it. The boss is down. After a bit of exploring to the depths, I ran to another boss fight known as the Gaping Dragon. It's really easy. As you see here, I already cut off its tail to get the rare weapon needed for Trophy Knight's honor. After a confusing exploration of Blighttown, I went to this boss known as Quail's Witch Quaylak, and I defeated her on my second or third try. After ringing the second bell, you can gain access to another area known as Sense Fortress, where lies another boss. Oh, and I got another trophy for discovering another covenant, so let's move on to Sense Fortress. Here we have Iron Golem, another boss fight right before moving on to a new location. And after defeating Iron Golem, I can be transported to one of the most iconic locations. Welcome to Anor Londo. Oh, and I also got a trophy for reaching the location. And now the hardest boss in the game so far, Ornstein and Smo. Well, two bosses actually. Oh, and I have to beat those two bosses again on New Game Plus, and it's gonna be extremely hard. Because I have to get Ornstein's soul on my first playthrough, and the second playthrough get Smo's soul for upgrading different weapons. After defeating Ornstein and Smo, I talked to this lady right here. It gives me the ability to fast travel between bonfires and give me another trophy.
Today, Father, his wounded obscureth. I have awaited thee. I bequeath the Lord vessel to thee.
And then I have to talk to her again by joining her covenant, and then I get another trophy.
Sacrifices. O chosen undead, thou hast journeyed far.
And now we move on to the next area where I talk to this cat right here and join another covenant.
What dost thou say? Oh, I am very glad. And now, what of us?
And then I get another trophy for defeating the giant wolf right here, but I have to beat him 3 times for the platinum. And then I went back to Blighttown and moved on to another area in the game where I find this dragon, and talking to him I join another covenant and a trophy. Oh, and I also cut off his tail after that. And after exploring another area in the game, I got to this boss right here, and then defeating her popping a trophy, and I also got off her tail before defeating her. And now the most frustrating boss right here, even on New Game Plus, is 4 Kings. Now this boss right here is like have spawned so many clones, you have to defeat him until he's dead. So my strategy right here is that I have to equip the heaviest armor I can get, and then have to use so much magic as much as possible, and then have to upgrade my Estus Flask. After defeating the boss, I talked to this snake right here, and joining his covenant brought me another trophy.
The Dark Lord. It can preserve your humanity while undead, and cast off the shackles placed upon your brethren.
And after a bit of exploring through the catacombs, I go to this really easy boss. I beat it in my first try. For another Covenant Discovery trophy, I have to enter this coffin and I had to talk to Gravelord Neil Rich. I have to beat him later in the game, but I have to join his Covenant or else I'll be missed. Oh, and you won't believe who I ran into. Yeah, Patches from Demon Souls. I still don't like it. For the final Covenant Discovery trophy, I have to kneel down right before the floodgates of the boss.
The foes of our lords. Then I shall protect thee, safeguarding thy person with the power of the dark moon.
And now the Dark Sun Gwendolyn, which is not that bad though, only took me like 2 tries to beat her.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark.
So now I have to try to upgrade as many weapons as I can to the max to get some trophies. Like there's 10 of them. For example, this raw weapon right here. So I have to upgrade this and then max out. Another annoying boss battle of Chaos right here is a one-shot boss. You have to destroy the orange cores first right before you go down, and be careful with the fire. And then when you beat him, you get a trophy. And what's even more annoying than Battle of Chaos is see the Scaleless, because I have to cut off the very tip of a tail for another weapon needed for the trophy. Yeah, I felt so relieved of getting that weapon, but I'm not finished with him yet. I just have to defeat him and then I get a trophy. In order to get the Platinum Trophy for this game, I have to find all of pyromancies, sorceries, miracles, and worst of all, rare weapons. For the last pyromancy needed for a trophy, you have to offer 30 humanity to the Daughter of Chaos, and then you give her that pyromancy. Oh, I almost forgot. This boss right here is also required for the Platinum. I still have to beat it twice. It's a long-range boss, and it's really easy when you use magic. And then I rescue this lady and then have to buy the remaining sorceries needed for a trophy, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Here we are, the final boss in the game. After I defeat it, I have to link the fire for the good ending, and then I get a trophy. Now for the New Game Plus playthrough, and I have to find the remaining miracles and rare weapons. Now those really rare items needed to max out weapons are known as Titanite slabs. They can either be found somewhere in the game or you can farm them, but it takes a really long time to get them. So here we are once again, the Ornstein and Smo boss fight in New Game Plus. So my strategy here was, I went to human form, and then I summoned Night Solaire and make this a 2v2. In order to get Smo's soul in New Game Plus, I have to defeat Ornstein first, and then I have to take out the upgraded version of Smo. So I rejoined Dark Sun Gwendolyn's Covenant once again, and I finally get to trade the souvenir reprisal, like 10 of those, and get my last miracle needed for a trophy. While I was progressing to New Game Plus and defeat bosses required to get to the final boss, Gwen Lord of Cinder, I started finding or farming Titanite slabs for maxing out many weapons, and this is gonna get very time consuming. Now this rare weapon right here called Chandler's Trident is a huge nightmare for me, because it took me so many hours of farming to kill challengers so many times until I finally get this weapon. After so much farming Titanite slabs and sometimes humanity, I finally get to upgrade those weapons and finally get the final boss once again. Now instead of leaking the fire once again, I decided to walk out and get the bad ending, and for a trophy. And now we're on New Game Plus Plus, and I only have to get this boss's soul for a weapon, for a trophy. And now I finally get to modify the last 3 weapons for a trophy, and then I get the platinum. Now I heard about this rare platinum and knew a little about. Released in 2022 and on PlayStation Plus, we have... This is a game about Kung Fu and has 43 base trophies and might take 15 hours. So step 1 in this platinum is just beat the game normally.
Show yourself. I have spent 8 long years preparing for this. I don't want to have to hurt you.
Don't freak your way!
I have spent 8 long years preparing for this.
Now step 2 is to get the collectibles that I can't get on my first playthrough.
What's going on here? Is this part of the fight or something? Come on then, don't just stand there looking at him.
So my first playthrough I kill bosses, but in the second playthrough I just have to spare them and get some talismans. After I decided to spare the final boss, this third phase right here is so frustrating. I mean, I've seen some gameplay videos of Sekiro that have bosses with those bars right there. Well, that was a very different perspective. To fully fill up the meter, you have to parry and punching the boss without taking any damage. When the bar is full, you finish him off.
Everyone get into position.
It was foolish of you to come here.
Drop the weapon, sir!
Next up, we have a 9.16% Very Rare Platinum. Originally released in 1999 and the remake came out in 2022, published by Bandai Namco. We have... This is a 3D platform with 41 trophies and might take 15 hours. Now step 1 is to beat the story while finding all the collectibles and bonus levels. Now this next set of trophies are the maze trophies, and there's also a trophy for completing the entire marathon. And because I grinded so much lives in my first playthrough, I finally get to breeze through the rest of the mazes and get the marathon trophy. Before I start the maze marathon, I have to clean up the remaining miscellaneous trophies. Now what makes this platinum very rare in a 6 out of 10 is Retro Gamer for clearing round 9 of the original Pac-Man. So I looked up a trophy and there are some strategies you have to get to round 9 and then clear it. For example, in round 1 you have to memorize the cherry pattern where you get really easy without losing a single life. Right here in round 9 there will be an apple pattern because each round the ghost gets faster and quicker. On my last life, I finally beat round 9 of the original Pac-Man. I get a trophy and the platinum. Now the final game in this video came out on Ultra Rare Platinum of 3.78%. Released in 2014, developed by Sledgehammer Games, and published by Activision, we have... This is a first-person shooter with 51 base trophies and might take 20 hours to get. So step 1 for getting this platinum is to beat the campaign on veteran difficulty while finding all the intel you can get. And honestly, veteran difficulty in Advanced Warfare is not too bad. Now right here in the first level, the first trophy right here is to take out the drone swarm without letting the tank get destroyed.
Bro! EMP's at 50%! I can't get a lock! EMP's charged! Fire it off! They're pumping smoke! Toss a foot grenade! Well, that launcher is heavily armored. We're gonna have to find an access panel and plant the charges inside. Copy that, sir. Mitchell, on me! Okay. Defender 2.
Once you complete a mission, you will get upgrade points every time you complete an Exo challenge. And fully upgrading your Exo Super Pop the Trophy power changes everything, but that'll be for later. Right now I just got another simple trophy for spending your first Exo point. In this next mission right here, you get to join Atlas, and there will be 2 trophies. One for gaining excellent score or better in the shooting range.
Training complete.
And one for getting an excellent score or better in the grenade range.
Training complete. Your score.
But enough interruption, but there is another trophy for killing an enemy with a car door.
Local, inbound from the northwest. Keep pushing forward! There's the gate! Prophet, target is secured. Taking him in for interrogation. Gideon out. Thanks for the assist.
It's clear. Alpha, move up. Mitchell, drop 2. Alpha will mop up.
KVA drones! Take cover! Use your EMP against it!
Clean hit. No one noticed.
Left a lot of bodies out there, Mitchell. Knox, we're inside. Have you found Irons?
Negative.
More hostiles dropping in! Kingpin! Cargo is secure! Nice work out there. We picked up a guest along the way. Bringing him in for debriefing. Go back out.
Now the rarest trophy in the game, Flying Ace, is really easy. You just have to shoot down 10 enemies with machine guns in the beginning of Throttle.
Got one. Finally, closing in on your 6, Mitchell. Watch. Hang in there, Mitchell. Flash out. Take cover. Got your back.
got it. Keep pushing forward. 1 minute.
Target truck is approaching your position. Copy that, Prophet.
Mitchell, on me. Mitchell, over here.
You should have eyes on the truck.
Someone get their ass on it.
Up the hill!
Trophy system at 50%.
LZ's up ahead.
Taking fire from below!
EMP that Warbird. Warbird, sound.
Trophy system.
Now what makes this game ultra rare is because the multiplayer trophies in this game is so slow in 2025. I mean, this game was released in 2014, what do you expect? However, my first multiplayer trophy right here is for playing 30 minutes each class.
Enemy targets.
Now the hardest multiplayer trophies in Advanced Warfare is Exo Flip and Flip Flop for flipping the map 2 times. But why is it so hard though? It's because the only requirement for flipping a multiplayer map is completing 25 rounds. Yeah, I finally got a trophy for flipping the map once. And then the next 25 rounds get progressively harder because the enemies get stronger, but after so many attempts, this happened.
Good job, team.
Now the trophy Exo Survivor is very time consuming, because the maps have been broken up into 4 tiers. For example, to unlock tier 2 you have to complete 50 rounds in tier 1. And the Exo Survivor trophy is tied to tier 4, and to unlock tier 4 you have to complete 100 rounds in tier 3. And after so many hours I finally unlocked the tier 4 map. Now the tier 4 map only has 10 rounds, but the first 10 rounds right here is like a normal game of Exo Survivor. But by the time I finally reached round 11, which is the bonus round, this happened.
Sensors are showing Manticore signatures headed your way. Eyes to the sky. Hit the town!
Yeah, in round 11, instead of enemies, there were zombies everywhere. You have to survive until you see this timer where you have to escape.
Down with an extraction team. Get to the prison yard. Double time.
Now the last trophy needed for Advanced Warfare's Platinum is Exo Survival Veteran for playing 50 matches in multiplayer. Now the easiest way to get that trophy faster is to play a private match, and then you can play it by yourself and jump off the map and just rinse and repeat until you get 50. Just like in my reading of my Platinum Gauntlet video, I decided to do it again on this video by enjoyment and difficulty. Now for enjoyment, I ordered them like this, with Seafood being my least favorite and Dark Souls being my most. And as for difficulty, I ordered them like this, with Dark Souls being my hardest and Toy Story 2 being the easiest. Luckily, Platinum in Games by Rarity is way easier than Platinum in Games by difficulty. If you'd like to see my Platinum Gauntlet video, click here. Thank you so much.